Live from clickorlando.com, News 6 Plus, and WKMG. We're getting results in your neighborhood now at 6:30 p.m.
Right now at 6:30, after more than a month of waiting, charges have been filed in the murder of 13-year-old Madeline Soto. Good evening. This is News 6 at 6:30, getting results. Thank you for joining us here live on News 6 Plus. I'm Ginger Gadsden.
And I'm Justin Mormith. It was the boyfriend of the teen's mom, who the state attorney's office has said was indicted by a grand jury earlier today on capital murder charges. Stephan Sterns is already in jail, facing 60 charges of sexual battery as well as child pornography charges. 13-year-old Madeline Soto first disappeared in late February, and her body was found March 1st. Now, even though Sterns has been arrested, News 6's Troy Campbell tells us the investigation isn't over yet.
State Attorney Andrew Bain stood here outside of the courthouse in Kissimmee announcing that a grand jury handed up an indictment for capital first-degree murder. This is the first charge directly related to the little girl's death. If you recall, 13-year-old Madeline Soto was first reported missing on February 27th. That's when her mother went to pick her up at her school, Hunters Creek Middle School. The mother says when she showed up, the school told her that her daughter never showed up for school that day. Then 2 days later, on February 28th, that is when investigators arrested the mother's boyfriend and the person last believed to have seen Madeline alive, 37-year-old Stephan Sterns. At the time he was arrested, Madeline was still missing, and they arrested him on charges of felony sex assault of a child after they say they found graphic images on his phone. Law enforcement say this charge will allow for them to seek justice for her family.
Madeline had just celebrated her 13th birthday and was just a child. The evidence shows an individual that was entrusted to keep Madeline safe made calculated moves to dispose Madeline's belongings and place her body in a wooded area before she was ever reported missing.
Bain still has not decided on if they will seek the death penalty in this case. In the meantime, Sterns is already being held in jail without bond on several felony charges. In Kissimmee, Troy Campbell, Getting Results, News 6.
Of course, we're going to be staying on top of any breaking developments as they come in, and we'll post those for you on clickorlando.com. Developing tonight, a former officer charged in the shooting death of a man was expected to change his plea of not guilty and be sentenced, but today's court hearing was delayed. Former Titusville police officer Joshua Payne is charged with manslaughter for the death of James Lowry. Body camera video from December of 2021 shows Payne mistaking Lowry for a domestic violence suspect, and then as Lowry ran away, Payne accidentally shot his gun at the same time as his taser. Police later said Lowry ran because he had drugs. Payne was arrested in June of 2022, and for more than 2 years, Lowry's family has been waiting to see some sort of justice.
Well, it has been more than a year since Brightline trains began running across Florida, and officials are still working to expand services. So this is the way things look right now. We have stations in Orlando International Airport, with the closest being in Stewart. But a big change is on the way. Do you see it? There's going to be a stop in Cocoa, giving people a chance to take a load off of our Space Coast or on the beautiful Cocoa Beach. News 6's Emily McLeod gives us a look at what this new station looks like right now.
Tell me how it feels to be at this point, one step closer.
Happy days are here again.
Cocoa City officials breathing a sigh of relief after the Brevard County Tourist Development Council approved $5 million in funding to go toward the design and construction of the Brightline Cocoa station, following some disagreement among the board. We were there as the TDC heard a presentation from Cocoa City officials showcasing the benefits of bringing a Brightline station to Brevard on Wednesday.
Were you nervous at all?
I was sweating bullets, but as you can see now, I'm trying to be cool as a cucumber. Proper collaboration and communication gave us positive results. And I'm happy to say that this will enhance the city of Cocoa. We're now the focal point in Brevard County.
TDC member Tom Hermanson sharing concerns over voting on the issue without reviewing the information ahead of Wednesday's meeting.
We're handed this information and then asked to vote on a $5 million grant for a public-private enterprise with no opportunity to read it and really develop questions.
Chairman of the TDC and Brevard County Chairman Jason Steele delivering a passionate plea for the members to vote in favor of the funding.
And if we sit here today and to ignore this request from the city of Cocoa, who's worked their butts off for years to get it, Shame on us. Shame on us.
There was some disagreement.
Well, there was, and I was very nervous about it, candidly, but the most important thing is that the TDC dug in, they asked good questions, and they in fact got them answered by our county attorney and by myself, and we ultimately ended up passing it.
The TDC's contribution would still need to go before the Brevard County Commission to make it official. In Brevard County, Emily McLeod, Getting Results, News 6.
For nearly 20 years, golfers have teed it up at Eagle Creek Golf Club near Lake Nona, but folks who live in the sprawling golf community say they're worried about the future after learning a portion of the golf course could be reduced for hundreds of new apartments. They reached out to our results desk after this community meeting notice was sent out to neighbors, and that laid out the developer's plans. So I set up an interview with some of the residents to hear their concerns firsthand.
They are beyond upset. They're livid.
It's a proposal that's firing up the Eagle Creek community.
Here also goes.
This vacant property, along with a portion of the popular golf course, being eyed for hundreds of new apartments.
And to add agony to injury, they also are looking for waivers from Orange County to increase the maximum building height to 5 stories.
This is not just another development. This is going to hurt if it goes through. It's going to hurt.
I met up with Rick Castro.
It breaks your heart.
Bob Rice.
Try to fit in a 5-story building somewhere.
And Carlos Garcia.
The way it is right now, we had a problem already with the traffic.
Outside their neighborhood. A neighborhood they moved to in large part because of the golf course, which is celebrating its 20th anniversary next month.
It's a very popular golf course. It gets a lot of play. It gets a lot of tournaments.
They're talking about altering a golf course that people bought into. What does that do to your property value? Is that something that concerns you?
Home values will go down.
The community meeting between the residents and the developer was set to be held next week, but we learned shortly after our interview that it was postponed until the summer. Still, residents fear the proposal won't change.
This is a very, very important milestone event. You're trying to chip away at an active, thriving golf course. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to us.
Because of the rapid growth in Lake Nona, they say Narcoossee Road is already a traffic nightmare, and it even impacts residents trying to get into the gated community. They also have concerns about what the hundreds of new apartments could mean for the nearby schools, which are already over capacity.
The result of all of this is going to be highly detrimental to our community and to our residents.
The developer looking to potentially bring the apartments here, Eagle Creek Development, is the same one who built the sprawling community. Our calls for comment on the proposal were not returned. And we will continue to follow that potential development again. That meeting has been pushed to sometime this summer.
We are learning what's to come for a historic building in Seminole County. It's been abandoned now for years. Those who live near the Rosenwald property in Altamont Springs have been waiting for this day. The Rosenwald School was built back in 1931, first to serve black students during segregation. Decades later, after it closed its doors, the county purchased the property in 2019. But there have been years of planning with little progress.
This board finds money for shiny objects all the time. This is not a shiny object. This is something that we committed to many, many years ago.
All right, so this week, commissioners will vote on whether to demolish the existing buildings and build a 6,000 square foot community center. The rest of the property they'll keep as they make future plans. It is one of the top trending stories tonight on clickorlando.com.
And here's a look at what else is trending on clickorlando.com. Some new rules unveiled for airlines meant to save you time and money.
This is great news. Airlines will now be required to give automatic cash refunds for canceled or delayed flights. You know what a pain that can be, right? The government says this isn't really a change, though. They're just reinforcing what should have been happening all along.
If an airline cancels or significantly delays your flight, within 7 days, they will be required to provide an automatic refund to the credit card that you used to book it without you having to call or wait on hold or sort through digital paperwork or haggle with that airline. When an airline knows that all, instead of just a few, of the passengers on a canceled flight are likely to actually get their money back, it gives them a different set of reasons to put in the investment and the realistic scheduling that makes those cancellations less likely to happen to begin with.
Yes, sir. Another part of these new rules involves checked bags. If you don't get your bag within 12 hours of landing, you'll get a full refund. There's nothing like arriving 3 days before you close.
A cash refund too? Not a voucher? Wow.
Go buy
that
all
is
your clothes
good.
again.
All of
yeah.
those are great changes.
Love it.
And much needed. Well, turning now to a warning from the city of Oviedo urging residents to stay away from alligators. It's mating season, all right? Some gators get more aggressive when searching for love, don't we all? So if you see a gator, not that aggressive. I'm just blowing smoke. But if you see gators mating, what do, right? Well, I guess the better question is, what don't you do? Obviously, you never feed the gators. Be sure to keep your pets on a leash as well when you're walking them in alligator-prone areas. That means any body of water in the state of Florida. Don't swim in water near alligators. Keep an eye on your kids too. And if you see a baby gator in the wild, leave it alone. They're not pets and the mama is probably close by watching your every move.
Yeah, you don't want a piece of that at all
No.
because she'll get a piece of you, and that's for sure. Yeah, if you see gators mating, just give them the room to do so.
Right.
Just go away. All right, turning now to schools. A ranking in from U.S. News and World Report puts Florida at the top in states for education, also including a ranking for the best schools in the state. And it's no surprise Central Florida is at the top of that list. So here we go. In Melbourne, West Shore Junior Senior High School is at number 3 in the state and 43 nationwide. Brevard is staying strong with Edgewood High and Merritt Island ranking 6th. Neo City Academy in Kissimmee is number 11. Orlando Science Middle and High Schools rank number 22 statewide. That's pretty good.
Yeah. You know, when I was in Brevard County in the Bureau, when I first started here at News 6, West Shore Junior Senior, they were also at the top of the list. I remember doing a story. I think they may have been number 1 at that time.
They've always been good.
They've always been top of the class.
No, it's good to get recognition from outside of the state because we always think our stuff is good, but when other people say it for you, then it's believable. All right, now, as you know, there isn't anything parents care about more than the schools. It's where their kids attend, and so we wanted to ask you, do you think your kid's school is at the top of the list of the state? It's our question of the day. Weigh in at clickorlando.com/react right now. Just click yes or no. So a lot of you have already voted, 67% saying yes. Again, make your voice heard at clickorlando.com/react. And if you have your phone handy, just open up your camera app, scan the QR code, and you can see right now on your screen, and the link will take you right to that poll. We've made it easy for you, and we'll have the results tomorrow night right here at 6:30.
It's good to see that the folks are proud and they
like
understand the recognition, right? And here are some of the other stories trending right now over on clickorlando.com. The suspect in that insane carjacking in Winter Springs claims he was paid to deliver the victim to someone else. Obviously, that story has a lot of twists and turns, and that suspect will go in front of a judge tomorrow.
People stop me in the streets to ask me about this story.
I've heard it from my brother. He lives in Seattle. So
oh my gosh, yeah, everyone knows it. So 20 people were arrested in a drug bust in Seminole County, and 13 people are still wanted in what deputies are calling Operation Black Ice. We're told deputies found $160,000 worth of drugs, including fentanyl, as well as 10 firearms. We have a list of the suspects still on the run. You can find it at clickorlando.com.
And thousands of people moving to Central Florida every day, but what about invasive snails? We've been getting a lot of questions about these pink egg clusters near water. They're invasive apply snails, I believe, and they're known for causing problems for local species and damaging local crops. So get them on out of there.
Goodbye, snails, and don't move slowly. Leave quickly.
Yes.
All right, find all of our top stories on the homepage of clickorlando.com.
Invasive snails.
I don't like it.
No.
Okay, so we are less than 40 days now away from hurricane season, and there may be some action in the Atlantic happening already.
We don't like it either. All right, we don't like any whiff of that. So Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrell's breaking down everything. It's not as scary as it sounds, though, Tom.
No, it's not. Not even a little bit. But there she blows. They circle it up. The Hurricane Center did this afternoon. It said it has a 10% chance of developing. I think they just wanted to practice. I don't know. This thing's going to move to the southeast. I'll be back to talk about what it means for the future of this, what it means for your forecast, which I'll tell you now is nothing, and then how hot things are going to be for your Thursday. See you in a few.
Beat it, nerd. Not you, Tom. Listen. All right. Well, if you're wondering what else can our local highway leaders do to stop wrong-way crashes, they're asking the very same question and coming up with some out-of-the-box answers and putting them to work. Eric Von Anken is seeing them in action. That's coming up. You're watching News 6 at 6:30 live on News 6 Plus. We're getting results in Palm Coast, Lady Lake, and all of Central Florida. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Wednesday evening traffic alert. Watch out overnight. We'd harp about eastbound I-4 in Seminole County at 417 a lot, but I also need you to watch out westbound as well. Last night, we did see a westbound lane closure. Caused a little bit of a slowdown, not too much, but just need you to be aware of that. And then, of course, out by the attractions, heavy lane closures, pretty much starting up by Central Florida Parkway westbound through the 535 area. I'm Trooper Steve with your News 6 traffic alert. Drive safely, and I'll catch you in the morning.
Already this year, several drivers have died in wrong-way crashes on major Central Florida roads, including the 429, which is part of the Central Florida Expressway Authority, the public agency that operates the toll roads.
Yeah, they have been at the forefront of wrong-way technology since 2015. It is getting results, but it can get better. And as News 6 anchor Eric Von Anken discovered, it is getting better, protecting our community.
The Central Florida Expressway Authority's wrong-way warning and detection technology works, like these lighted wrong-way signs that send messages to troopers and overhead billboards instantaneously, turning wrong-way drivers around a remarkable 87% of the time. But as we continue to see, it's not 100%.
So the Expressway Authority got together with its consultant and the engineers at UCF to try and figure out what more could they do, and discovered there was a company out there that had just invented these IRPMs, illuminated raised pavement markers. The company was looking for somebody to test drive these, so they donated a whole bunch of these to the Expressway Authority.
If you're going down the wrong way of a ramp, you'll see these lights that
These
will be
LEDs are just pointing in one direction.
Pointing in one direction,
Always.
and that's the wrong way.
Brian Hutchings, you are the Public Information Officer for the Central Florida Expressway Authority. You meet regularly to try and solve this problem.
Correct.
So then the engineers wondered, how do they stop drivers from turning onto the wrong ramp in the first place from the access road, in this case, Old Winter Garden Road? They came up with three solutions. First is to paint arrows in the street telling drivers to go straight. Second is to put those same arrows, but this time in green, up on the traffic signals. Third is these things, making it almost impossible for drivers to make this left turn going the wrong way, even if they wanted to. You can't get on the ramp now. I mean, it's physically blocking you.
Yeah, And as you can see, it's not all high tech.
When do you know if these new things are getting results?
Well, that's where our partners at UCF and their research team come into play here. So they'll be analyzing data over the next 2 years to see how this is performing. The research component is critical to the overall success of trying to get to 100% no wrong way driving incidences.
If, in fact, all of this is getting results, the Expressway Authority will install all of this at all of its exit ramps. That's 88 across Central Florida. Protecting our community in Orange County, I'm Eric Von Anken, getting results. News 6.
And currently, the Expressway Authority's highly effective wrong-way vehicle detection system, that's the one with those flashing signs and the immediate warnings, is installed at 2/3 of its exit ramps, the ones in the core of Central Florida. But by next year, they have plans to have all 100% of those off-ramps covered. So far, the wrong-way system has detected almost 2,000 cars entering the wrong way, and 1,700 of them have turned around.
What
so
does
it is
that tell
working.
you when you have all those cars going the wrong? I don't know if it's the design of
I don't know if it's not paying attention, distracted.
All of it.
Other
all of it. But it
reasons.
just seems like it's too easy to just go the wrong way. All those people can't be impaired.
Right.
I don't know. It's just,
It
I'm
is.
just glad they're doing something about it. All right, Chief Meteorologist Tom Searles is joining us now, and we had such a beautiful start to the day. It's not ending up
Any
bad
worse.
anyway, yeah.
No worse for the wear. Take a look at what's going on tonight. Let's start our weather story with the tropics. That's all anybody's going to talk to me about. The weather's so quiet, so picture perfect. It's like, hey, what's going on in the tropics? And the answer is, for you, nothing. There's nothing going on. Hurricane Center circled this up this afternoon and was impressed by the persistence of thunder showers and the rotation, but it's moving into an area. It's going to drift this way, slowly down to the southwest. So they're giving it a 10% chance of developing in the next 24 hours, 10% in the next 7 days. I think it'll be dead soon. It's moving into an area that doesn't have a good environment. It's moving into a hostile environment that should rip it to pieces. Okay, light Orlando delivering Hope Cam. On the town forecast, going to drop to 68 degrees by midnight. Here's that Barron's Hurricane Index with the entire Atlantic Basin out there. It's unfavorable between now and the weekend. So I really don't believe our little circled up event is going to become much of anything. Live weather radar right now, nothing there either. Here's the water vapor loop showing you all this dry air, all this rust color. The orange, that's the dry air at 30,000 feet. It covers the entire Gulf, all of Central Florida, and most of the Atlantic. That's a hostile environment for any type of development. Overnight low this morning tumbled to 55. Daytime high today was 83, 2 degrees below the norm. Currently in Orlando, on the light Orlando camera, we're at 81 degrees. Here's Daytona Beach, blue sky, blue water. Perfection. It's beautiful. Look at that low relative humidity. 38% right now. So it's dry, dry, dry. You can feel it as soon as you step outside. It feels great. 80 in Leesburg, 80 in Kissimmee, 77 Titusville, and the wind has really been cut all the way down. 48 hours ago, we had wind speeds of 23 miles per hour, gusting closer to 30 tonight. Just a gentle breeze ongoing. Big ridge of high pressure dominant for now. As the high builds out to the east, it will continue to buffer all of this mess away from us. So we're not looking for any big changes between now and the next 7 days. Our dry run continues. You're going to have to keep watering the lawn. There's no rain coming anytime soon. Here's the way it looks all the way into Sunday. It is quiet, quiet, quiet. Forecast lows for tonight. Well, I messed them up. Sorry about that. 60. Hold on. Forecast, there you go. Forecast lows for tonight. 60 in Sanford, 61 in Kissimmee, 59 along the coast. The overnight low tonight in Orlando is 60. Here is tomorrow.
Your forecast is sponsored by Florida Lottery.
Temperature zooms tomorrow, 81 by lunchtime, 4 o'clock, 87. Come look at the week ahead. 87 tomorrow, 85 on Friday, and Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, all great. 1 week from right now, the daytime high will be 88.
Tom, thank you. News 6 is teaming up with Harbor House of Central Florida to raise money for domestic violence survivors and their pets. So join us Saturday for the 13th annual Pause for Peace walk at Blue Jacket Park in Orlando. It starts at 9:30 in the morning. This year, Trooper Steve and News 6 investigator Eric Sandoval and their pooches are serving as co-ambassadors. And ahead of the walk, we'll be hosting a phone bank benefiting Harbor House of Central Florida. That is tomorrow from 4 to 7 p.m. All right, you know, we say local law enforcement, they are heroes.
Yeah, and that couldn't be more true for one little boy. One of the best stories of the day. We're going to introduce you to a top new recruit.
Oh,
joining Orlando Police for the day. He is a handsome fella. This 4-year-old boy helped to nab a criminal too. We're going to show you when News 6 at 6:30 continues. Stay with us. We're just back in 2.
Coming up in the morning, the Magic looking to turn their luck around for the NBA playoffs.
A special event where you can cheer the team on for free, even if you don't have a ticket for the game.
Plus, your pinpoint weather and traffic every 10 minutes. We'll see you for News 6 Morning starting at 5.
All right, everybody, pay attention. A look at an unforgettable day for Orlando's newest and youngest police officer. Please look at this. 4-year-old Stone Hicks. Come on now. He arrived at the Orlando Police Department this morning for his very first day. So Stone is battling end-stage kidney cancer, and he's always dreamed of being a police officer. So Make-A-Wish was able to make that all happen for him. Stone was sworn in, and he immediately got his first case to find a lost dog named Rocky. He joined the SWAT team, and together they got results. And you know he found that lost pup. He did. Look at that car.
They locked up the suspect too, and he drove off in his OPD cruiser.
Why didn't we lead with this story? This is so fantastic. Stone, love you. I hope he gets to keep that little car too, because who else can fit in it, right?
Shout out to OPD and everyone involved too. Look at it.
There's the crew.
Yeah, he pushed him right in that car too.
Don't mess with Stone. He's even got the perfect name, you know, Stone.
Immediately sworn in, nabs his first
Getting
guy.
results
He was
automatically.
prepared.
Yeah, he was. All right. Great job, Stone. Thank you so much for watching News 6 at 6:30. Stream News 6 online anytime on our News 6 Plus Smart TV app.
We break news on clickorlando.com. See you back here tonight at 11.